This is the first OnShape tutorial for the pen project. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to make the pen tip. A lot of the strategies that we use in this video, you'll see reoccurring as we do all of the other parts for this project. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by going to OnShape and creating a new document. Okay, I like to use the year, my name, and the project. Okay, in this case, it's going to be the pen tip. So now that I've given it a name, I'm going to do all of my work pretty much on the front plane. So I'm going to select my front plane, right click on it, and create a new sketch. I don't want to have the other planes on, so first I'm going to right click in the design space and view normal to sketch. And then I'm going to poke out the eyeballs for all of these reference planes, so that way they're just not visible. If I want to bring them back, I can always come back over here and turn them back on if I need to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. So I'm going to come up here to my line tool, and I want this to be a construction line, so I can click over here where it says construction. I'm going to start at my origin. I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Make sure it snaps to horizontal. You'll know it's horizontal when you get that marker showing that it's horizontal. So I'll click down, and then I'm going to hit escape to get out of my line tool. I really don't care what the length of this line is right now. Okay, that's going to come into play later. So right now I'm working off of the dimensions that I was giving in the technical drawings. So if we bring this over, you'll see you have these drawings available to you as well. All right, so that's where I'm getting all of my dimensions off of. You can follow along the video, or if you have a good reference for how to do this, then you can probably do most of this right from the drawing. So I'm going to go to my line tool, and I'm going to start by drawing out the overall shape. So I'm going to start here, click on my origin. I'm going to go straight vertical. I'm going to go horizontal, vertical again, and then down. Now, I don't want to click to the end of this, but if I mouse over it and then I come up, it'll help constrain this last point so that it is in line with the end of that line segment. All right. I'm then going to I'll zoom in with my scroll wheel, come straight down. Notice how I get the vertical marker, or that vertical flag, indicating that I'm making a vertical part. I'm going to come over. All right. I'm just mousing over this and then coming down from it, so I'm in line with it. Drop my point, and then come over here and connect to that first line segment. Now I'm done drawing lines. I'm going to hit escape and get rid of my line tool. I'm going to do a quick trim, so I'll go to my scissors here. You can also hit the M key. All right. Notice that when you mouse over a tool, the shortcut key for it on the keyboard is highlighted in parentheses. So I'm going to swipe through that. Okay, I just click and drag through it, and that swipes through and trims that for me. So one of the problems I have here is while I have my overall shape, and I just hit the F key on my keyboard to zoom to fit. Okay, while I have my overall shape, I don't have any dimensions constraining this, so that's why the whole thing is blue. So now I need to go ahead and start adding in some dimensions. So I'm going to try to work from the inside out if I can. So I'm going to start by putting in all of my radial dimensions. So I'll start by clicking on the line, measuring up to this first segment, and I'm going to key that in. Now, my geometry is going to start shifting and moving on me, so don't get upset. Eventually, it's all going to come out. So I set that to 109 thousandths. Okay, I'm going to zoom back in here. Okay, I'm going to click there, zoom out a little bit. I'm just using my scroll wheel to zoom out. You'll notice like I put my dimensions way over there. I really don't want my dimensions way over there. Okay, but I'll drop this one, and this one is 1/8 of an inch, 0.125. And then I'm going to come from that line again to this upper point, and I'll set this one to 161 thousandths, or 0.161. Okay, you'll notice I keep talking about thousandths of an inch. When you're working in 3 decimal places of precision, the third decimal place is the 1/1000th place. So this is 109 thousandths, this is 125 thousandths, and this is 161 thousandths. This is a very common way of referring to precise measurements when you're in a manufacturing environment. So I want you to try to get used to hearing this and thinking in thousands. All right, so I have these dimensioned. I still need to dimension the distance to each of these points. So I'm going to click down on my center line, come to this interior point. Oh, I lost my dimension tool. Let's try that again. So from here, zoom in, grab this point here. One more time. From there to the point. Okay, and I'm going to set this to 38 thousandths, 0.038. Okay, and then I'm going to do that one more time to this point, and this is 0.068 or 68 thousandths of an inch. So I've done all of my radial dimensions. That means I'm measuring from the center of what's going to be a revolve. So from the very center of this pen tip out to the radial points, right? What I don't have is I don't have any length dimensions. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to dimension the length of this step here. So just click on it, drag up, and this one is set to 0.176 or 176 thousandths. Okay, and then the distance from this segment to here. All right, so I went from this segment here all the way to this segment here. Okay, and then this is 810 thousandths, so 0.810. I'm going to hit F on my keyboard to zoom to fit, and then I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so when I zoom to fit, it kind of moved shifted my dimensions around. So if I want, I can hit escape, get out of my dimensioning tool, and then just grab the dimensions and kind of drag them off the model. All right, I try not to have my dimensions cluttering up the model. All right, so this is just good practice. Okay, this is actually an example of clear and effective communications, which I believe is VOG number 3. So now that I have this done, I have my profile. Notice all of the lines here, all of my segments have turned black. That means this assembly is fully defined and I don't need to add any more dimensions. If anything in this assembly had a blue segment, then that would mean I probably need another dimension. So now I'm going to green check, and I'm going to take this face, I'll click on it. You'll know it's selected when it turns orange like that. And I'm going to come up here to my revolve feature. Okay, I can also hit Shift W on my keyboard if you want. So I have the face of the sketch selected, but I didn't give it an axis of revolution. All right, so that's my pivot point that this is going to swing around. So I'm going to go down to my axis of revolution, and I'm going to select this first reference line that we drew. When I do, you'll notice it automatically swings around. If it doesn't, double check and make sure you selected that face to begin with. All right. So now I'm creating a new solid model. It's new, so I'm going to green check. Now, if I want this to look like brass when it's done, I can right click on the part, go up to assign material. All right. Click on here and start typing the word brass. This is going to assign brass material properties to it. So if I was to look it up with my mass properties, I can find out how much this tip should weigh, right? But it didn't change how it looks. So if I right click and go to edit appearance, I can give it kind of a brassy, orangey yellow look by clicking that color and then green check. All right. So now that this part is done, all right, I always like to put mine into isometric view. So I come over here to my view controls, move to isometric, and then I'm ready to move on and do the next part. All right. Incidentally, if you've never used OnShape before, you can use this cube to help rotate your piece around or get to standard views if you want to. All right, so if you want, you can rotate left to right, up or down. Okay, you can spin it. Okay, and again, if you get lost, you can always click on one of these standards. All right. You can also right click and drag to orbit around your model. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll start orbiting around my model, and then I'll kind of get somewhere way out in the field, and I'll just come back here and pick my front view. Okay? So at this point, you're ready to move on to the next video, which is going to show you the next part of the pen.